This is a Japan window. This is a Japan desk. This is a Japan water bottle. I'm just kidding. This is my water bottle from back home. Hello, testing. I have to be very quiet because the dorm is very quiet. So 1 more year has passed since my last video. Apparently that's my record. 1 per year. I can make a career out of that. Just kidding. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. Or am I? Maybe. I don't know. If it happens, it happens. Okay, anyways. So this is kind of crazy, but I am in Japan now. All you can see right now is my dorm room, but I promise I'm in Japan. Last year, in my last video, I mentioned that I was looking into going to school in Japan. So because I backed out of my last job like really late in the game, it created some complications with my visa. So I really wasn't sure whether or not this was going to work out. So like, some of my closest like family and friends knew what was happening, but I didn't advertise that I was trying to go to Japan after last year's sort of failure until literally my visa was approved like a month ago, and I packed everything up and I bought my plane ticket and I left, and I'm here. I've been here for a couple of weeks now. We are just starting our 3rd week of classes, so we've had 2 full weeks. But I did get here a little bit earlier, so I've been in Japan, I think, for about 3.5 weeks. But for those first 10 days or so, my mom actually came with me, and we did a lot of touristy things while also doing all the sort of bureaucratic things you have to do in order to get settled in Japan, which is a lot. I did not film some of those things because I was sitting in the ward office for 6 hours, and that's not so fun to watch. I mean, I don't know. I don't personally like to sit in a ward office for 6 hours, let alone watch someone else sit in a ward office for 6 hours. I did, however, shoot lots of footage of all of our touristy days, and so I am going to play those while I kind of talk you through everything that we did. We had just a really, really lovely time.
Maya. Okay, I'm actually taking a video now. I was trying to trick you, but now you're just frozen. So here we are. There's Landmark Tower. Whee! All the way up there. And then there is the Ferris wheel and the Queen's Tower malls. And then over there, somewhere over there. No, I don't think we can see it. There is World Porters. Yay. There we are. We're so cute.
Okay, so Sunday was our first big touristy day. We walked to Minato Mirai from the hotel. We saw the ship. We went to Landmark Tower. Then we realized that the Sky Garden was literally just about to open. So we waited just 10 minutes, and then we went up into the Sky Garden and we poked around. We took lots of pictures. And we got a yummy little snack from the Sky Garden Cafe, and that was delightful. I think the cafe at top was really nice, and the whole thing was set up actually really well.
This is from a different angle. Here's the Ferris wheel. We took that bridge last night. This is our street that we're staying on. We walk, and then that's the hotel where we're staying at. It's right next to the station. There's the stadium. And then all that behind there is the Yokohama port. Ooh.
Then we went back down, and since we were at Landmark Plaza, we decided to go to the Ghibli store. We got a bunch of very cute things. I got my Japan wallet. It's a little Kiki wallet. It has served me extremely well so far because it has a little pouch for coins and stuff, which is very essential in Japan. And then after the Ghibli, we walked back to the hotel, we rested for a bit, and then after that, we took a bus down to the Sankeien Gardens. So this was a really long day. I'm doing some of this from memory, and so I might get some of this wrong. But the Sankeien Gardens were built by a wealthy merchant from, I don't know if this is Edo period. If it is, it's very, very late Edo period, but from like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
I'm sure that's not Edo. I'm sure that it's the one after that.
He was a very wealthy merchant, and he built and designed the entire gardens. And so there was an outer gardens that he ended up opening to the public, and then there was an inner garden, which is where he and his family lived. Some of the structures in the garden, he actually paid for them to be moved and restored. And then some of the structures, I'm pretty sure, were added after his death and after the gardens had been donated to the city of Yokohama. Okay, so I'm drawing from my college Eastern Asian art history class, and so it's pretty fuzzy, and so I don't know if what I'm about to say is right. But in China, there is a whole movement of nostalgia art, where people of the past were nostalgic for even previous periods of the past. And I think maybe some of that is going on because he commissioned and brought in pieces from all these different time periods. So it's kind of an interesting experience walking through the gardens, because you'll see architecture that is from the Edo period, and you'll see architecture that is from, much, much further back. There is also tombs that are there that are 2,000 years old.
Okay, I'm probably wrong about that because I can't remember.
It's an interesting sort of walk through time, because you get to see many different examples of Japanese aesthetic and architecture from many different periods. One of the most famous part is, of course, there's this 3-tiered pagoda, which is very beautiful. I think it's been designated a national monument. But my favorite part was the Yanohara house, which is what it was called. This is the only house that is open to the public all year round, which you can actually go into it. The rest of the houses, you can kind of look into some of them, but most of them you can't go into at all. But the Yanohara house, you can go into. I read at the time from just the plaques was that this house belonged to a sort of wealthy village headsman, and the front half of the house was the sort of iconic Japanese aesthetic. It had the shoji doors and tatami on the floors, and then the back half of the house was more in the style of a Japanese farmhouse from the Edo period. So it had these polished floors, and it has the original kitchen, the original kind of living space, the original bathroom, and it was so delightful. It was just completely delightful to walk through. It was really, really cool. I actually didn't take any footage of the Yanohara house because I was just so enchanted by it. I didn't even think to actually film and everything. Anyway, so we walked around the Sankeien Gardens, we saw the pagoda, we saw the house, we saw lots and lots of cherry trees. I will show you pictures if I can. That was very long. I hope you enjoyed. It's been just a delightful string of experiences, and even though some of it is hard, it feels very worthwhile. So anyways, that was the first couple of weeks in Japan. I love you all, I miss you all, and I talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.